Hey kids! Has someone ever made you a promise and didn't keep it? Yeah, well that's happened to me recently. So the other day I asked Uncle Jeff, "Hey Jeff, can I please play with the Switch now?" And he said, "Not now." And I said, "Please." And Uncle Jeff said, "I'll give you a turn in 10 minutes, I promise." So then I waited. And then I waited. And waited. And waited until I fell asleep. Yeah, Uncle Jeff didn't keep his promise. But we do know about someone who does keep his promises, don't we? God had made wonderful promises to God's people Israel. He had saved them from being slaves in Egypt. He had promised to give them a new land to live in. He said, "Be strong and courageous." Last time we looked at Joshua, we learned that God always keeps his promises. Remember, Joshua became their leader. He trusted in God, and God did what he promised in amazing ways. He made the river Jordan stack up so they could cross. He made the walls of Jericho fall down. They had been given some of the new land, but there is still some left. We're going to keep reading Joshua today. Do you think God will continue to keep his promises? Let's find out. There were 5 kings who lived near God's people. They were strong and powerful kings, but now they were afraid. They had heard what a great God the people of Israel had. They had heard about Jericho and its walls falling down. They had heard that God's people had destroyed the city of Ai. They had heard how the strong and powerful people of Gibeon had even made peace with Israel. They were very, very scared. So they made a plan. The 5 kings would work together and attack the city of Gibeon. Surely they would win. When the people of Gibeon heard about this, they sent a message to Joshua. "Come and help." Joshua came to help them with his whole army. God said to Joshua, "Don't be afraid. You will win the battle. I will help you." Joshua trusted in God. He knew God kept his promises. So Joshua came in the night and surprised the 5 kings and their army. God made them confused and they were losing the fight. They started running away from Joshua and his army. Suddenly, God did an amazing thing. He sent huge hailstorms from the sky to help Israel win the battle. But time was running out. Joshua and his army needed more time to finish the battle. He prayed to God, "Make the sun and moon stand still." And God listened. He had promised to win the battle for his people. And so the sun stayed in the middle of the sky for the whole day. It gave Joshua and his army time to completely win the battle. So kids, did God keep his promises? Yes! He fought the battle for Joshua and saved his people in such an amazing way. And many, many, many years later, God saved his people in an even greater way. God sent his son Jesus to fight the battle against sin and death. He died on the cross, taking the punishment for our sin. He rose from the dead, winning the battle against death. Joshua trusted in God, and we can trust in what Jesus has done for us, because God always keeps his promises.